Hey guys, it's Thunder here, and welcome to another brand new Let's Play. We're going to be here with Driver, the very first in the long-running Driver franchise, taking its roots all the way back to the early PlayStation 1 days from 1999, or, well, it wasn't 1998. I don't remember. It may have been the latter. I'm going to turn down the music a little bit because it is a little bit on the louder side, at least in the menu years. I don't think it's as bad in-game, but, you know, well, just so I can hear myself. So, this is pretty much where this series kind of really took off, and it was very popular for the time. There's a lot of people who played it, a lot of good memories for a lot of people, including mine. I've never actually played through this game through completion, though, throughout my entire life, so this LP is going to be the first time in my life that I'm ever going to be able to have said that I beat the game. So, this should be fairly interesting. So, of course, you get a whole bunch of options here. Of course, you got the main mode, which is undercover. You got some high score stuff, yada yada, your little options. You got the take a ride mode, which I spent a lot of my time in as a kid. Driving games, which we'll get to later on during the LP. We got your cheat codes, which there aren't any yet because we got to unlock them. We got some training, which is pretty simple enough. I'm not going to show these off because there's not really much of a point. Because considering what we're going to be starting with at the start of this game. And we also got some car chases, which basically, one of the big selling points about Driver was that you could create your own, like, little chases and, like, film replays. It was very welcomed because this game does very much have that 70s movie car chase feel to it. It was, basically car chase the video game in a lot of ways, so it was really popular for that. A lot of people would make all these different kinds of replays, and there's quite a few of them that are on YouTube, and some of them are quite nice. So anyways, but we're not going to worry about that because that's really just a bit of an extra feature. But what we are going to be focusing on, of course, is the undercover mode, because that's where a good portion of the game comes from. So I don't have a save on here, so we're just going to go right into a new game and cutscene.
Truth is, Tam, 3 years on the department and you're still the best driver I got. We don't get too many ex-racing boys in here. Low-life rumble in Miami is there's a hunt on for a guy who can pump the gas. Big getaway, big job. Maybe even some kind of hit. Some hood by the name of Rufus is in the picture. We need a line on it. Coffee? Black, right? Guys upstairs were asking for you in person. Look, we need you to go under. But no one's gonna know except me. If I bring anyone else in, I'll let you know. I need your badge. Any questions?
Alright, so the first thing you have to do in this game is one that a lot of people have had a lot of trouble with. Which basically meant that, the undercover mode was pointless to a lot of people. Well, I say pointless, aka they couldn't really get to see what it looked like because, well, okay, I think it's triangle's the handbrake. There we go. Yep. All right. Good. We're almost there. We just got to do slalom. So here's one of the big issues with this. You have only 60 seconds to get through this. You have to do everything on that paper, or else you're not passing. And if you touch anything at least 4 times, you also, well, they're not gonna give you the call. So but you got to be quick with it. You got to get used to the way the car drives. It was a bit ridiculous for it to be the very first thing you have to do, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. I mean, it took me a little bit to actually get used to it, because I'm a bit rusty at this game because I haven't played it in some time. But once you get it down, that's all. That's pretty much it. It was a bit ridiculous because, again, the first thing you have to do. But this game is basically, you can't beat it. You don't get to see the rest of the game, and for a lot of people, that's pretty much was the exact case. A lot of people had a lot of trouble with this one, but basically, once you get it down, you can do it in reasonable time. I've seen some of the fastest people I've seen ever manage this. They did it in like half the time required, because you only get like a minute. Because if you're too slow, then they don't think you're gonna be fast enough. And if you hit 4 things, they'll think you're too dangerous enough, so they won't even give you a call for that. So Just keep that in mind. But once you get it done, then you can see the rest of the. You can properly begin undercover mode. So once you've actually beaten that mode, you get taken to this little like hub area. The first thing we are given is to like save the game, and we're gonna want to do that real quick. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna just do that quick. And I'm too lazy to put a name in, so we'll just put like D for driver, and it'll just save it. It's pretty much kind of what you're used to seeing, so it's nothing that different in that department. But once you got that, you've also got this, which just basically just goes back to the title screen, so nothing too special. You can take a drive, which is basically just kind of like take a drive mode in the in the main menu, but during the undercover thing. So there's also, of course, the options, which is just to adjust various things, and then, of course, the main portion of it. And if you go one back, you'll just get to that, and you can skip it by just pressing the button to kind of fast forward it. This is where you get your jobs, so we're going to get a new job. Let's see what we've got here.
You have one.
I have one.
It's us. So listen, we want to use you on a bank job. No hassle. Should be real sleepy. You want in?
So we basically just have a bit of a bank job we can do. So we're, of course, if you can get multiple messages, which you can just kind of go over to here, the next message. But this is the first thing we're given, so we're gonna accept that, and we're gonna go right into the action. Of course, I usually just show off the loading screens once. This game's loading times aren't actually that bad, but you know, it's not really much of a point to show them off because it's pretty simple. So we get a little bit of like a bit of an opening there to see what it like, just a bit of a pan out as we get to the car, and we basically have a set amount of time to get to our objective. Now this is where pretty much the main brunt of the game will pretty much head to at this point. So, and I am cutting that too early because that's not going to take me anywhere. Yeah, this game was released, I believe, in '98, '99 by a small team called Reflections, who have always made the driver games, except with the exception of like maybe one or two specific things. And this was published by GT Interactive. I don't think they're around no more. At least I'm pretty sure that's the case. But GT Interactive was the first publishers, but after the second game, that pretty much completely changed. But we'll get to that when we actually get to Driver 2, because yes, I do plan to do Driver 2 as well as the other Driver games, because I quite enjoy these games. So here's an interesting thing. We have to get to this in the set amount of time, but the thing is, if you're too early, you'll need to come back later. Yeah. There's such a thing as being too fast for this objective. But once it gets closer to time, then it's one you want to go in. So like something like that, basically. And now pretty much all we have to do is get these guys to their lockup, which is pretty self-explanatory. If you want to see an easier way of the map, you can pause the game, just go to show map so you can get a full view. Kind of helps if you're having trouble figuring out the best way to take, best layout to take. This one's pretty simple. You just want to go for the big red line here, which is pretty much like the main freeway area, and you want to go down this path here to base. And it's just basically mostly a straight drive, not too many turns, nothing like that, and you just gotta get there. But although you want to keep your eye out because the cops could be on the lookout for you, especially if you came too early where you got quite a high felony bar. Because the higher the felony bar, the more heat you get. And speaking of which, there's the cops. So we're gonna try to make sure we don't get too involved. Whoa! Hey, that cop car is trying to make a dramatic entrance. Well then, Jesus. Yeah, the game's quite capable of doing that quite a bit. There's some very interesting glitches and physics moments, but I guess that's a good thing that it happened because we already lost them. So again, we pretty much just gotta drive to the finish. I don't think. Oh shit! There's another cop car coming. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna hold back. I don't want to drive forward because I don't want the cop to see me. Because we're nearly there. I'd rather have the cops off my ass than be there. Because I imagine if you have them, you probably can't finish. It'll be like you gotta lose the tail first. So just please don't turn right. Oh shit! It's coming to a stop. Okay, Ah, yeah, okay. Doesn't matter. It didn't matter. Ah, fuck. You also do have a damage meter. If you take too much damage, you can basically total the car, and yeah, you pretty much get the idea of that one. At least the good thing is this cop kind of gone to a bit of an incident. Damn it! Ah, traffic. All right, we gotta keep moving because we gotta get the cop off our ass. The cops are quite a bit aggressive in this game. They are not afraid to consistently ram you and force you to take more damage consistently. So basically, at this point, you just kind of have to keep driving around and using evasive maneuvers, or just hope that the police car runs into various things and basically starts falling behind. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you know, the cops don't purposely keep up with your speed. You can, if you're very good enough, you can in fact outrun them, which is what we are trying to do here. It's not working out too well because the cops don't exactly play nice, and that's not helping that I'm running into head-on traffic. But this was one of the very well-liked things about the game is, the game had very aggressive cops. So it felt like a proper chase rather than just, and he looked like he hit the tree and took himself out, which is fine because we're near where we need to be. Slow ourselves down, and there we go. Our car's a bit of a wreck, but the guys got to their hideout spot, and that is the important thing. So we did it. And that's the end of the mission there. But that's also going to be the end of this part. Stay tuned for part 2, where I'll be doing, the format how I'll be doing this is I'll just be doing 2 missions per part, because I didn't want this part to only be just the parking lot doing all the little stunts, because that's a bit short, because when I edit that down, it's not going to be very long. But stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to be focusing on 2 more missions this in Miami here. Afterwards, we're going to see what else the game has to offer. Don't know why I say it like that, but whatever. So anyways, you guys, you can follow me at Twitter at HDCentralYT to get the latest updates. You can donate to my Patreon if you want to support the account, not actually required, but if you do, thank you. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and take care.